Hey guys, it's Fi here. I wanted to put out a short video to get some more content generated. Basically, today we're going to be talking about why are Scarab Occult Terminators taking over the Thousand Suns meta, especially in Phalanx. So, you're looking at turn 4 of my last tournament game that I just played in TTS against a really good opponent with the Genestealer Cults. And so we're going to run through what made the Terminators so good in this game and then what made them so good in general. Right, so first off, they are extremely tanky, right? These guys are T5, which is good, so that like most of your chaff shooting is going to be at least strength 4. So that's going to put you wounding on 5s against chaff shooting. On top of that, they are -1 to wound as long as they are led by a sorcerer. And that can, not even led, as long as there is a wizard alive. So as long as this guy's alive or their aspiring sorcerer friend, -1 to wound all the time. So that means chaff shooting is on 6s, and then heavy weapons are on 3s. Like, it's impossible to wound them on a 2. Unless you have a +1 to wound strat, which is, or lance or something like that. Which does happen, but not all that often. So they're very defensive. And then you pair them up the board with their foot demon prince friend, and now on top of being -1 to wound, they are -1 to hit. 2+ armor save, 4+ invul, extremely tanky unit, -1 to wound, -1 to hit. Then, on top of that, if they're getting shot by damage 1 guns or punched by damage 1 things, they add 1 to their armor save. So, take your 2+ armor save unit, you shoot it with AP 1 damage 1 guns, still saving on a 2. And if you're in cover, since you are choosing the order, you can end up actually taking damage AP 2 damage 1 guns and still be on your armor save if you're in cover. Now, that being said, there aren't a whole lot of damage 1 guns in the game in competitive lists. Like, most people aren't shooting stuff like that. It's mostly damage 2, damage 3, especially into your Terminators, because they're going to know they're super tanky, so they're trying to shoot you with like plasma and stuff. Now, so that's how tanky they are, which is great. They can, you live and die by the 4+ invul. You can live through everything, or you can just explode and die. And you are still vulnerable to damage 3 blast weapons. Now, on the killy side, these guys are insanely shooty, right? Take the whole squad that's alive. We're going to look at their weapons profile stats over here. So ignore that. I can't fix that. Don't know what's going on. You have a whole bunch of, you have 4 missile attacks that are D3. You've got Soul Reaper auto cannons, 12 shots with the squads all alive, strength 6 with dev wounds. And really, this is a squad of really benefiting from layering our buffs at their target. So, if you give them full rerolls with our spell, if you give them +2 AP with our spells, and you use the sorcerer's ability to make them +1 to hit, you're hitting on 2s with full rerolls, and you're shooting 36 bolter rounds into these guys if you're within 12 inches. So, it doesn't seem like a lot, especially since it's strength 4, but you do have lethal hits. So, you're going to end up with somewhere around 10 to 12 lethal hits, or not lethal hits, but 10 to 12 wounds from bolters that are AP 4. Like, there's not a whole lot that likes getting shot by AP 4. So if you're shooting like a Space Marine Land Raider that's armor 2 with AOC and cover, it's still saving on 4s. And without AOC and without cover, man, you're saving on 5s and 6s, just depending. I mean, Land Raider's probably always going to have cover. So you can do a lot of work with these dudes. And that's just their tiny guns. The rest of their shooting is really good. You have anti-infantry and anti-vehicle mine bullets. Like, we're really good at split firing, and we can kill anything in the game due to the lethal hits. Their melee is not the best. I think it's still pretty strong. It's strength 5, AP 2, damage 2, with a whole bunch of Kopesh attacks with lethal hits. So you can do work. The reason why this unit works so well is the lethal hits from the sorcerer on offense. If you don't have lethal hits on these guys, they're not nearly as strong. So, that's their offensive profile that we've talked about. Very good. And it's very good and flexible. Like, a lot of stuff that's good at killing vehicles can't kill chaff. A lot of stuff that's good at killing chaff can't kill vehicles. The Terminators have enough weapons and enough buffs that you can give them that you can basically shoot anything in the game and be guaranteed to do some damage, which is great. So, next up, we're going to talk about their mobility, right? Normally you think Terminators, oh, your movement 5, not very great. Your mobility is a downside. And that's true. But in Phalanx in particular, we have a stratagem that gives our gun assault. So we can advance these guys for 1 CP and give them assault on their guns. So that's an extra D6 movement already. And then they can cast Surge on themselves. It's another one of our spells. You can go a d6 or 6 inches. So, well, not... So you can't move faster than your actual movement characteristic. Keep that in mind. So they can go a d6 or 5 inches because they're movement 5. I think all of them are. Yeah, I don't think even the wizard gets a buff yet. So they can go a total of 11 extra inches within advanced roll if you roll really good. So they can go 16 inches. Like, these guys are zooming up the field. So, like, if they start the turn on this objective, they could have ended up where they were from being on that objective. That's a huge... That's 3 turns worth of regular movement in 1 turn. And they can still shoot. They just can't assault anymore. So, with our spells, you can overcome one of their weaknesses. Last but not least, I want to talk about the enhancement that you can give them in Phalanx, which lets one of them infiltrate. People typically aren't ready for a Terminator brick of 10 dudes to start the game in the midfield. You do still want to keep them safe. You don't want them to get shot for free. But you, like, okay, so on this deployment we were doing Crucible of Battle. So this ruin is a great spot to infiltrate them, which is what I did in this game, is I infiltrated them here. And now I'm basically threatening this objective. You can't move anything big out here because if I come out, I can shoot it. It's just a big threatening piece. Just make sure if your opponent has fast movers or like good melee threats that you stay 1 inch off these walls to try to avoid giving them the free charge. Because, like, yes, you can fall back and shoot with the stratagem. Another good reason to run this detachment. But you still don't want to get tagged up. You don't want to spend that CP tax for no reason. And, like, they can take some damage. If, like, some Howling Banshees hit them, they'll kill 2 or 3, which does stink. And then you'll kill the Howling Banshees, but you're a 450 point plus unit getting hit for 80 points. So that's why these guys are so good in Phalanx. Very tanky, very shooty. They're probably going to go up in price, unfortunately. This unit is the only thing keeping our win rate going. So some of the stratagems don't really apply to them, unfortunately. Infernal, Fusillade, you can make their bolter strength 5, but it's 2 CP. I have literally never used this stratagem in my entire life. I've never had the CP to do it, and if I do, I just still would rather bank it for like a reroll or something. Ardent Automata, this is the big one. Lets you charge, shoot, in a turn in which you fell back. So if your rubrics, or not rubrics, if your Terminators get tagged by some chaff bullshit in Coven that would lock you up, you'd be fucked. In this detachment, you fall back and shoot. Awesome. Implacable Guardians does not apply to the Terminators because it says specifically Rubric Marines Psyker unit. So that can only go on the actual Rubric Marines. Very unfortunate. Inexorable Advance. Woo, awesome. That's the Rubric K. The keywords are very important. That's the Assault. Revenge of the Rubric K. This is the... You can shoot back at them when they kill your Psyker. So that's... I know I talked about it very briefly before, but you can shove these guys forward right in your opponent's face. They shoot at you. You take the first 4 damage on your little Wizard Sergeant, and now your whole squad gets a full activation, and they're going to just pick stuff up. You do have to shoot back at the thing that killed your Wizard, unlike some armies. Still, great combo. And then we've got Unwavering Phalanx. Charge phase, and this is again just for Rubric Marines, -1 to the wound roll. So you can save some rubrics with that, but we're not talking about the Marines, we're talking about the Terminators. So, all in all, very tanky unit, very offensive unit, can move fast when it needs to. Keep one of them in Deep Strike if you run into, because it gives you that Deep Strike threat. I know what's really being run right now is 3 Terminators, or 3 bricks of 10 Terminators. I don't run that because I don't like to just copy the guys that are winning. I try to like figure out what I can do on my own, and I like to bring a Vindicator and a Mutilith, and like not having 2 Terminator bricks frees up the points for more chaff and more other pieces that can do other things. Would this list be better if it was 30 Terminators? Probably, but for me personally, I know that the Terminators require spells to make them work, and getting all those spells for where 2 or 3 Terminator units can benefit from it, I'm not very good at that. It's something I need to work on as a player. So, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you want more Thousand Suns content, like, subscribe, do all the follows. I stream over on Twitch. And I'm trying to make some more videos in the coming days. So, thank you. Good night.